All right, so we're diving deep into digital twins today. And, you sent over some really interesting research on this. I mean, it's clear these are way more than just like some cool 3D models.
Yeah, you're right. This is much more dynamic. We're talking about a virtual replica
Yeah.
that's constantly being updated. I mean, almost like a living, breathing mirror of its physical counterpart.
I was reading about one example, a company, we'll just call them Company X. They used like a digital twin of their entire factory to deal with a big supply chain issue. A major port shut down out of nowhere, and they were able to reroute materials, and adjust production all virtually before making any changes, like in the real world. Pretty amazing, huh?
Yeah, that's a perfect illustration of how powerful it can be to have this virtual sandbox, right? To try things out and make decisions, without a lot of risk. I mean, to understand how this all works, we've got to break down the core components, like what makes a digital twin tick.
Okay, yeah.
So think of it this way. You have the model itself, that's like your dynamic blueprint. It's always being updated, I mean, with real-time data.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that data, I mean, that's the lifeblood of the twin. It's flowing back and forth between the physical and virtual world. And then, you get to have the analytics engine. That's the brains crunching all that data to get insight, to figure out what it all means. And then finally, you have the interface.
Okay. Yeah.
That's how we interact with it. Visualize all that data and make decisions.
So it's not just about like copying a physical object. It's about using that virtual copy to really understand it. I mean,
Yeah.
to optimize performance and even, maybe even predict future behavior.
Right, exactly. And this is where it gets really interesting. I mean, we're seeing applications across all sorts of industries. Take manufacturing, for instance.
Okay.
Digital twins are revolutionizing how things are designed, tested, produced, the whole process. They're using them to simulate different manufacturing processes, optimize their factory layouts, and I mean, they can even predict equipment failures before they happen.
The research on using digital twins for like personalized medicine, that really stood out to me. Imagine having a digital twin of yourself, like built on your medical history, genetics, all that.
Right.
So doctors could, they could use that twin to simulate like how different treatments might affect you. I mean, that could lead to, much more targeted and effective therapies.
Almost like having a virtual medical lab,
Hmm.
designed just for you. And this isn't, science fiction anymore. I mean, this is actually happening in some pretty cutting edge medical facilities.
So we've got healthcare, manufacturing. What other industries are seeing a big impact from digital twins?
The energy sector is another really great example. Imagine a digital twin of a whole power grid.
Whoa.
Operators could use that to monitor the flow of energy.
Hmm.
I mean, predict demand, how much power people are going to need, and optimize how they integrate renewable sources, like
Jeez.
solar, wind power.
That's huge.
And I mean, this could lead to a much more stable, efficient, and sustainable energy system.
Okay, so we've got digital twins revolutionizing factories, healthcare, energy grids. I'm really starting to see how this tech is changing things in a big way across the board.
And it's really just the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, as these technologies, like the Internet of Things, AI, big data, as they keep evolving, we can expect, more and more sophisticated, powerful digital twins in the future.
Speaking of those enabling technologies, there was one part of the research I found a little bit confusing. It talked about how important edge computing is for digital twins. Can you kind of break that down for me a little bit?
Sure. So traditional cloud computing, you're processing data,
Yeah.
in these centralized data centers. But with edge computing, that processing happens closer to the source,
Oh.
like right on the factory floor or even, within a medical device itself. This is really important for digital twins because it means faster data analysis and decision making,
Yeah.
which is crucial for real-time optimization and control.
So it's like edge computing is like having this like mini brain right where the action's happening instead of
Right.
relying on, that central brain way off in the cloud.
Right, exactly. It's about, reducing that lag and making those digital twins as responsive as possible.
Right.
And as those technologies, keep maturing, I mean, digital twins are going to become more accessible, more affordable. I mean, that'll lead to even wider adoption across, all sorts of industries.
Yeah, the possibilities seem pretty limitless, but I'm also wondering about, the potential downsides. The research mentioned concerns about, cybersecurity risks, and the need for like skilled professionals to actually manage these complex systems.
You're right. Those are definitely challenges that we need to address.
Yeah.
I mean, with digital twins handling, huge amounts of sensitive data, cybersecurity is absolutely paramount. We need really robust systems in place to protect against data breaches and cyber attacks.
Yeah, it's like building, a digital fortress around these virtual replicas.
Right. And you hit another key point there. Creating and managing these, digital twins. I mean, it requires a special skill set. We need data scientists, engineers, software developers, and domain experts,
Yeah.
people who understand how to build these systems, how to validate them, how to operate them. I mean, there's a growing demand for that kind of expertise. And, educational institutions and businesses, they're scrambling to catch up.
So there are, some hurdles to overcome, but it seems pretty clear that digital twins have, the potential to really reshape industries and even our daily lives in a really big way.
It's kind of wild how digital twins are having this big impact already, but we're really just getting started.
Yeah. I feel like we're like right at the beginning of a huge tech shift, kind of like, back in the early days of the internet or when mobile computing started taking off.
Yeah, I think that's a good comparison. We're seeing this convergence of really powerful technologies like the Internet of Things, AI, big data, edge computing, all coming together to create like something truly transformative. And just like those other revolutions, digital twins, they have the power to disrupt industries, create these new business models. I mean, they could even change the way we live and work.
Yeah. Okay, so we've established that, digital twins are a big deal, but I'm curious about like the specific, economic benefits. I mean, how does all this translate into like real world value for businesses and society in general?
Well, let's start with efficiency. Digital twins, they allow companies to streamline their operations, optimize how they use resources and cut down on waste. I mean, for example, a manufacturing company, they could use a digital twin of their factory, right, to simulate different production scenarios,
Yeah.
identify bottlenecks,
Sure.
fine-tune processes to maximize output and minimize costs.
So it's like having like this virtual efficiency expert constantly analyzing and improving operations.
Right, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
And that efficiency, I mean, it directly translates into cost savings by reducing downtime, you know,
No?
optimizing energy consumption,
Mm-hmm.
minimizing waste. I mean, companies can significantly improve their bottom line.
But it's not all about cutting costs, is it? I mean, I imagine digital twins can also like drive innovation. I mean, lead to the development of entirely new products and services.
Absolutely. One of the most exciting things about digital twins is their ability to speed up the innovation cycle. Companies can use them to test new designs, simulate product performance, under all these different conditions, and even get valuable customer feedback, all within a virtual environment. I mean, that allows them to bring products to market faster and with less risk.
The research it mentioned this really fascinating example of how a company in the auto industry is using digital twins to develop self-driving cars. So instead of, putting these expensive prototypes out on the road and risking accidents, they're testing and refining their algorithms in this virtual environment. Like that perfectly mimics real world conditions.
Right. It's a great example of how digital twins can not only make innovation faster and cheaper, but also safer. I mean, and this applies to so many other industries. Imagine architects using digital twins to design and test earthquake-resistant buildings, or urban planners using them to simulate traffic flow and optimize transportation systems in a city that's growing really fast.
It's crazy to think about all the potential applications, but let's zoom out for a second and talk about the bigger societal impact. I mean, how are digital twins changing the way we live, we work, how we interact with the world around us?
Well, for one thing, digital twins they're making our cities smarter, more efficient.
Okay.
By connecting these various systems, infrastructure like transportation, energy, water, waste management. I mean, connecting all of that into a single digital platform. I mean, city planners, they can get a real-time view of how the city is functioning
Right.
and make data-driven decisions to improve, sustainability, resilience, and just the quality of life for citizens.
It's almost like having this like city scale control panel, right? Where
Yeah.
you can monitor everything, like from traffic
Yeah.
to air quality to energy consumption.
Exactly. And that data can be used to optimize traffic flow, reduce pollution,
Yeah.
and even anticipate, potential problems like power outages, water shortages.
The research it highlighted this interesting case study in Singapore. I mean, they're using a digital twin of the entire city state to manage, everything. I mean, from transportation to how they allocate resources to disaster preparedness. It's like taking the idea of a smart home and scaling it up to a whole city.
Singapore's really a pioneer in this area. I mean, and their work is proof of the transformative potential of digital twins. I mean, for
Yeah.
urban planning and management.
And it's not just, about cities, is it? I mean, digital twins are also, they're changing the way we work. The research mentioned how companies are using them to create like these virtual workspaces where employees from all over the world can collaborate in real time, regardless of their physical location.
Right. I mean, digital twins they're blurring the lines between, physical and virtual work environments,
Yeah.
enabling new ways to collaborate remotely and have more flexible work arrangements. I mean, this could potentially improve, work-life balance, reduce commuting times, and create a more inclusive and diverse workforce.
It's like having this virtual office you can take anywhere you go.
And as virtual reality, augmented reality, as those technologies, continue to evolve, I mean, these virtual workspaces are going to become even more immersive, more engaging. Imagine putting on, a VR headset and being transported to a virtual meeting room where you can interact with colleagues as if you were all, in the same room.
It sounds like something out of science fiction, but I guess that's the thing about digital twins, right? I mean, they're always pushing the limits of what's possible.
Right. And as we get more comfortable interacting with the world through digital interfaces, I mean, digital twins are going to play this bigger and bigger role in shaping our experiences. They'll help
Yeah.
us navigate these complex systems, make, informed decisions, and connect with others in new and innovative ways.
That's a really interesting thought. So it's not just about like efficiency and innovation. It's about like fundamentally changing how we see and interact with the world around us.
You got it. Exactly. And it's important to remember that, this is still an evolving field. There are challenges, ethical considerations to think about, societal implications to ponder. But the potential of digital twins, to improve our lives is undeniable.
Yeah. Speaking of challenges, the research it mentioned the need for standardized protocols, the interoperability between these different, digital twin platforms. It seems like everyone's building their own twin, and they don't always like talk to each other very well.
Yeah, that's a valid point, and it's something that industry leaders, policymakers, they're working on. Just like we needed common standards for the internet to really take off. We need similar standards for digital twins to reach their full potential. We need to make sure that that different twins can talk to each other, share data, seamlessly, and work together as part of a larger ecosystem.
It's like we're trying to build this global network of digital twins, where they can communicate, they can collaborate just as easily as we do, as humans do.
Exactly, and that interoperability that's crucial for unlocking the full potential of this technology. Imagine a world where a digital twin of a car can communicate with a digital twin of a smart city's traffic management system to optimize routes, reduce congestion, improve safety for everyone. Or a digital twin of of a patient's heart can communicate with a digital twin of a hospital's operating room to ensure seamless coordination and
Yeah.
the best possible outcome during surgery.
Those are some really, really powerful examples of how interoperability can take digital twins to that next level.
Yeah. And as we move toward this more, connected and data-driven world, I mean, the importance of interoperability is, it's only going to grow.
Okay, so we've talked about, efficiency, innovation, societal impact, the need for, interoperability. But before we wrap up, this part of our deep dive, I want to touch on something that I found really interesting in the research. It was about this idea of the metaverse and how digital twins, might play a key role in how it develops.
Oh yeah, the metaverse, that elusive concept of a persistent, interconnected virtual world. I mean, a lot of people think it's the next evolution of the internet.
Yeah, the research suggested that digital twins could be like the building blocks of the metaverse, providing those digital representations of real world, objects, environments, and even people that would populate this virtual realm.
That's a really compelling idea.
Yeah.
Imagine a metaverse where you could visit a digital replica of the Louvre Museum, explore the ruins of ancient Rome, or even attend a virtual concert with friends from all over the world. All of those experiences, they could be powered by digital twins, providing these realistic, immersive, interactive environment.
It's like taking, virtual tourism to a whole new level.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And as the lines between, the physical and the virtual worlds continue to blur, I mean, digital twins are going to play this even more important role in shaping our experiences, both online and offline.
This is all incredibly exciting, but I gotta admit, I'm also a little bit, apprehensive. I mean, with all this talk about virtual worlds and digital replicas, it makes me wonder about, the future of human connection. Will we spend so much time immersed in these, in these virtual environments that we lose touch with real world, interactions, real world experiences?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
And it's something we need to be mindful of as we develop and embrace these technologies.
Yeah.
It's important to remember that digital twins and the metaverse, they're tools, right? I mean, powerful tools, no doubt, but they're tools. And just like any tool, they can be used for good or for bad. I mean, it's up to us, as humans to make sure that these technologies are used in a way that enhances our lives, that strengthens our connections with each other and creates a better future for everyone.
That's a really, really powerful message, and a good reminder that, technology should always serve humanity. I mean, not the other way around.
Exactly. And as we continue to explore the possibilities of, digital twins and the metaverse, it's important to have these conversations, right? To consider the ethical implications and to make sure that we're building a future that we can all be proud of.
Well said. It seems like we've covered a lot of ground in this part of our deep dive. We've explored, the economic benefits, the societal impact, the need for interoperability, and even the potential role of digital twins in shaping the metaverse. But there's still so much more to uncover, and we'll delve even deeper in the final part of our deep dive. All right, so we're back, and we're continuing our deep dive into digital twins, and it's been quite a journey so far, hasn't it? From factories to cities to the metaverse. I mean, we've really seen how this tech is, it's really poised to reshape our world. But before we wrap things up, I kind of want to bring it back down to earth for a minute and talk about something that I think often gets overlooked in all this, all the tech hype, and that's the human factor.
Yeah, that's really important. I mean, we can talk all day about algorithms and data processing, but at the end of the day, the success of any technology, it really depends on how well it integrates with human behavior, human decision making.
Yeah, I was reading about this case where a company, they implemented this really sophisticated digital twin of their supply chain, but it actually ended up like backfiring.
Yeah.
And it turned out like the interface was so complex and overwhelming that the employees, they actually just went back to their their old ways of doing things, which were less efficient.
Yeah, it's a classic example of how even the most brilliant tech can fail if it's not designed with the end user in mind. User experience, UX, it's absolutely critical. I mean, we need to create these interfaces that are intuitive, that are easy to easy to use, easy to navigate, and that that provide really clear, actionable insights, even for those folks who aren't tech wizards.
So it's not just about building, a digital twin that works. It's about building one that people actually want to use.
Exactly. And that means, understanding their needs, understanding their workflows. I mean, even their anxieties, right? The people who are going to be interacting with these systems, some folks might be, intimidated by the technology, worried that it'll replace their jobs.
Yeah.
Or that their skills will become obsolete.
Yeah, it's like that old saying, right? Technology should be a tool, not a tyrant.
Exactly. We need to make sure that people that they feel empowered by digital twins, not threatened by them. That means clear communication, comprehensive training, and ongoing support to help users adapt to these new ways of working.
And it's not just about technical skills, is it? I mean, we also need to foster a culture of trust and collaboration between humans and these digital systems.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, think of it as a partnership, right? Where humans bring their creativity, their intuition, their critical thinking skills to the table.
Yeah.
And digital twins, they provide the data-driven insights and that predictive power. And together, I mean, they can achieve far more than either one could alone.
It's like having this super powered assistant who can crunch numbers, analyze trends, but ultimately it's the human who's still in control, making those final decisions and guiding the overall strategy.
That's a great analogy, and to make that that partnership really successful, we also need to be mindful of the ethical implications. For example, how do we ensure that digital twins are being used fairly and responsibly, without perpetuating biases or creating these unintended consequences?
Yeah, that's a big question, and I don't think there are any easy answers, but it's definitely something that we need to be discussing, debating as this tech becomes more integrated into our lives.
I agree. It's crucial to have these open and transparent conversations about the potential risks and benefits of digital twins, and to involve stakeholders from all walks of life. I mean, ethicists, policymakers, industry leaders, and of course the general public.
It's like we're navigating this uncharted territory, right? We need to proceed with caution, but also with a sense of excitement and optimism about the possibilities.
Yeah, well said. And I think that's the the key takeaway from our deep dive today. I mean, digital twins, they represent this really profound technological leap forward, and they have the potential to revolutionize so many aspects of our world. But it's up to us to make sure that this revolution is guided by human values, by ethical principles, and a commitment to creating a better future for everyone.
Yeah. On that note, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive. It's been a really incredible journey, and I hope our listeners are feeling as informed, as inspired as I am. Any final thoughts before we sign off?
Just this, the world of digital twins, it's constantly changing. So stay curious, keep exploring. I mean, who knows what amazing discoveries are waiting for us, just around the corner.
Well said. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. And we'll be back soon with another, fascinating exploration into the world of cutting edge technology. So until then, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.